But we had to do England and see who got in, who got out, the big shockers, the big moments. What happened here? Again, I have my good friend Matt. Matt, how are you today?
Doing pretty good. Although I will say, I wouldn't necessarily speak for me in saying not wanting England to go anywhere. I don't have any ill feelings toward England. I don't have any, you know, affiliations wanting the United States to go through either. So uh,
No,
I
neither
think
do I.
I'm just here for some good games.
United States? What? United States? Oh, is the United States in the World Cup? I didn't even know. I
They
didn't
just,
even
they
know
just
that.
happen to be in the same group as England, and they may play them at least once. Well, exactly once.
You know what? I might just take a quick little peek at the game. Might just take a little. Oh, what's going on? We'll see. We'll see. What?
I mean, you don't have it circled on your calendar already?
Uh, no. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now, no. But yeah, thank you, Matt, for being here today. We're gonna go through our roster squad. We're gonna do it and see what's going on. So first and foremost, we're gonna go with the goalkeepers. Big shockers of the three? Nope. I said before. This is exactly the three that I thought we're gonna do. Pickford, Pope, Ramsdale. I think the starter is gonna be Pickford. I would want Pope because of course he's playing with the number one defensive team in the entire Premier League. But Pickford does have some hype and he's kept Everton out. Like Matt was saying before on one of the videos that was in the Premier League. I think Pickford is a good choice. With, like I said, with Castle's goalie and how he's played. Pope plays well, but he's got a great defense, and I think Pope is good. But I do agree with Pickford being so. Matt, what do you think on that? Any shockers? Anything like that?
No, I think these three are about as expected. I think, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised with either Pickford or Pope. But Pickford has been the England keeper before, which I think benefits him, and he has played really well this season. He hasn't given them a reason to drop him.
Exactly, and I agree. I think Pope used to be the number one guy like 2-3 years ago, but
He had a
now,
bad injury,
yeah,
and then I think, yeah.
and then he had the bad game. He had the bad game for England just recently. He had the bad game for them, and it slipped. And that I think that was the nail in the coffin. He said, no, I'm going to definitely. But you can't leave him out. He's
No.
one of the best goalies. And Ramsdale playing for Arsenal, amazing story. You go to Bournemouth, nobody wants you, not a soul wanted you, and he comes in and plays for Arsenal and just dominates. Gets his confidence back and everything. So, I mean that guy right there is. I mean that's an Eddie Howe type of guy too. That's an Eddie Howe signing too. So great job that they brought all three on that one. Defenders, moving on to defenders. This is where Matt and I were talking and going like, this was our big first shockers. Trent Alexander, Connor Cody, Dyer, McGuire, Shaw, Stone, Trippier, Walker, White. The big ones that I was like, what the heck? The big one, McGuire. What are you doing picking McGuire when you have other people that could definitely play that? McGuire doesn't even play for his own team as a starter now. Why are you going to do that? The only reason you're going to do that is because you have that guy, and it's for I don't know what. Matt, what would you say that the reason was? It was like cloud or something?
I think it's probably just that, like, he's played for England before,
Yeah.
and for whatever reason, Southgate just really likes to pick players who play in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Uh, I think Tamori would have been a great call-up.
Yes.
Tamori has been playing for Milan for quite a while, a few years now. He signed from Chelsea, not that long in the past, but he's been there for a bit. He's only 24, and he's been incredible. They won the league last year.
Yep.
I think he's been a great pickup. He could have gone over Maguire. I would have even potentially picked him over Connor Cody. I haven't been that inspired by Connor Cody.
Yep.
But maybe there's a communication thing. Pickford, Cody, they're on the same team. There's some connection there. I will note two big names off this list because of injury: Reece James and Ben Chilwell. Both injured
Yeah.
for quite some time. Unfortunately, they're going to have to miss the World Cup. I know they're gutted, and they'll wish that they could be there, but they're going to be rooting on their team regardless.
Yeah, I think the big two, and this I agree with you with the McGuire and Cody. I think that I just think that it's not going to play McGuire. If McGuire slips against Iran, if he slips against that game, and even if they play remotely bad, he's going to put Dyer in. McGuire, play Cody and Dyer. Then there was no reason to have McGuire there. So, what were you thinking at that time? Plus, you have, you got. I think Matt and I were both talking about Dyer plays the right side, Arnold plays the right side, Trippier plays the right side. You have guys all on the right side. What do you think? Are you thinking that you're going to play a three? Maybe he's thinking you're going to play a three defensive set on the back.
At the back.
Yeah, I think the only reason.
Then, though.
What's that?
Even then, though, there are other guys who aren't here who have played at the back on their club level and have played well. Like Mark Guehi, like Tomori, like we already said. Tyrone Mings didn't make the team, and he's even been pretty solid. In terms of fullbacks, though, James Justin has really impressed me, I think, a lot. Unfortunately, I don't know if he's on the left or the right. They're very stacked on the right, which is the tough thing. It looks like he can play as a left back, but he's primarily a right back. The thing is, with the Chilwell injury, though, they're super thin on the left back. It's basically just Luke Shaw, and maybe one of the other center backs can play on the left. They've played Trippier on the left. Actually, at the Euros, I think Trippier started on the left over Chilwell for some of the games. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these other guys could play out.
Hold on. Get in here. Who's barking the entire thing in here? So just bring up the speakers. Stop. So I got alright, 3, 2, 1. Strong on the right side, go.
I wouldn't be surprised if any of these other center backs could play that left back position, but you've got so many center backs here. And you're gonna pick McGuire too, and Cody when you knew Chilwell wasn't playing. You could have picked someone else to fill that gap.
Yeah.
It's like a wing back angle. He's gonna play like Sterling at wing back or Saka at wing back. I don't know, but it seems kind of confusing to me. It just bothers me. There's a big Premier League bias because there's guys playing well who are English in other leagues, and they don't get as much consideration, it feels like.
Yeah. It's almost like he didn't want to leave the island, or if he had he had an ankle bracelet, he couldn't leave. Because I was watching I'd watch some of the Premier League games, like 3 or 4 of them, during the week, just so I could get a good reaction of them. And you saw him at the Newcastle game back-to-back weeks. You saw him at I believe it was the Man City game. He was there. He was at the I think he was at the West Ham game too. I think he was looking at the guys that we're about to talk about in the midfield. But yeah, he went to I don't know if he just was like, I want to watch a few football games in the Premier League. I get to go to there for free anyways, haha, or something. I don't know, but yeah, I agree with you. There's definite bias in the Premier League. So
the only guy that isn't, we'll talk about it in a bit, is plays in Germany right now.
Yep.
But yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
Anyway,
speaking of that, let's move on to the midfielders. Bellingham, Gallagher, Henderson, Mount, Phillips, and Rice. One huge name that Matt and I both said was like, why do you not bring him on there? Plays for Southampton, and you don't allow him. How do you not let Prowse in? I mean, he's one of the best kickers in the league. We thought maybe because of Trippier, you set Trippier there, but why wouldn't you have two of those guys then? Why would you not bring a guy who, for set pieces, has more goals than Ronaldo in set pieces? That's just the stupidest thing. And Bellingham, that's the guy that Matt was talking about, so I'm going to let him talk a little more about Bellingham. Young kid, okay, fine. But, I mean, take Declan Rice out. I don't care if he gets paid. He's not playing very well right now. Phillips, don't let him play. Mount's playing well, I gotta give him that. But Gallagher, too. Gallagher's good. Do not get me wrong. Gallagher's really good, and he's playing well, and he's almost growing and playing well now. But you gotta let Prowse play. I'm sorry, you put Prowse in, find another guy, another spot to take. But Matt, what's your thought on midfielders?
I feel like, yeah, I think Ward-Prowse has done everything in his power to earn a spot here. He's consistently the best player for Southampton. He's been strong in the few chances he's been able to play for England.
Yeah.
I think Bellingham deserves to be here because he has that sort of dynamic play. He can dribble, like he can move the ball. He's got a lot to his game, and he's getting better even.
Yeah.
Declan Rice, I get, like, he's a very strong pivot player. He's the center defensive mid. What I don't get is you have Jordan Henderson here. He's the captain, or he was the captain.
Yeah.
It's a sentimentality thing, sure. If you're gonna pick Henderson and Rice, why also pick Calvin Phillips? Calvin Phillips, I just looked, only has a single appearance for Manchester City.
Yeah.
They signed him for boatloads of money, and he's only played a single game this season.
Yeah.
And he's played more games for England in the last 6 months than he has for Man City.
I was thinking the same thing.
If anything, I would pick Ward-Prowse over him. Gallagher too. He's young. He'll have other chances at the World Cup. Like, if he missed out, I don't think he would have been that gutted because he knows the competition is fierce. I bet he probably would have thought, I could totally have gone. But to like, James Ward-Prowse has played for England on multiple tournaments. He's proven that he can do it, and now he's older too, right? Like, he's not going to have a lot more chances. Like, I just think it's a missed opportunity. And if they have like a prime free kick in one of their games, down like 1 goal, or like even, and they need a win, and they blow it over the bar or something. Look to that when James Ward-Prowse will be sitting at home like, yeah, I could have taken that one.
They're gonna put Trippier for that position, but let's say you have Trent.
Usually they have both, right? Alexander-Arnold can take those two, but they usually have 2 guys line up, right? One on either side.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If you have that, Trippier's gonna take. But what if scenario this could happen because they're so front loaded on the right defenseman? You have Arnold in and not Trippier. Trippier's on your bench at the time. You're not gonna sub Alexander Arnold for Trippier just to take a free kick. No.
Oh no, he can take those.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, he's not.
I think Alexander Arnold has been a very strong free kick taker for a while. Whether he can, do it to the best of his ability right now, whether his form is good, I don't know.
But he's not Prowse. He's not Prowse.
No, I think it's a huge missed opportunity.
It's a total missed opportunity on that one. Yeah, I think Bellingham being so young, okay. I like the pick finally going. I think he almost had to hit a quota. He's like, well, I can't pick everybody from the Premier League, so I gotta get somebody that's not from there. But I think the midfielder is one of the key shockers also. But let's move on to the forwards. We got Foden, Grealish, Kane, Madison, Rashford, Saka, Sterling, Wilson. My big wow he's on there was my guy Wilson, because Wilson's been hot, but I think before the season he wasn't even on the list. He wasn't even in contention to be going, but because he's been so hot on getting in, he got the call up. Grealish, why would you pick him? Rashford, great call. Madison, thank you. Give a guy who actually earned it, and was like, no,
absolutely, he deserves it.
He totally is on fire right now, but he played well too, and he was one of those guys that were questioning. Sterling has been playing well for Chelsea. He's a little slippage, a little bit of slip on it right now, but and I think Saka's a great player, and I think he's bringing them back, and I think he's hoping that he can get to a penalty kick range. And of course, you're going to leave Harry Kane. You got to bring Harry Kane when he's the captain of the English squad. Great goal scorer, can score from anywhere. But I think the big what was Grealish, and I'll even say Callum Wilson. I didn't think Callum Wilson would have made it, but even if Callum Wilson, he's the backup. He's going to be the backup. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But that's the thing, is that's the sub forward role, right? Like whoever that spot is, there are some other names: Tammy Abraham, Jared Bowen, Ivan Toney, all guys who had a chance to make that pick.
Yeah.
I think again, even if he was playing out of his mind, I think Tammy Abraham, who has been playing pretty well, I think lately, his record has been pretty good. He's not playing in England, which is,
Yeah.
Unless you're Jude Bellingham, apparently, you can't get picked if you're not playing in England.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
again, I'm kind of disappointed that Southgate is. It seems like he has his guys, right? And
Yeah.
a lot of managers have their guys that they like. Obviously, he likes Phillips. You know,
Yeah.
obviously he likes Maguire. It's fine. Like maybe these guys can show up and
Yeah.
be clutch and pull out the big moments, but it seems like there's some missed chances,
Yeah.
and hopefully they won't have any missed chances like they did at the Euro final.
Here's the thing. I think that was a big factor too. Is that Euro final? I really do. The only reason they lost the Euro final was the penalty kicks. That was it. The only reason.
Well, if they scored a goal before then, they wouldn't have to go to penalty kicks. Is the other thing.
Well, exactly. But I mean, that's the big. I think he's like, it's kind of like one of those. I think he's one of those coaches that like goes to the Super Bowl. So many of you may not know about American football, but basically, if you're the team that wins the Super Bowl, more than likely you make the playoffs next season. If you're the team that lost the Super Bowl, if I'm right about this, I think it's 70% of the teams that lost in the Super Bowl don't even make the playoffs the next year because they think they have it. They're like, oh, we'll just come in and we won't upgrade our team to somebody better, and they're like, okay, we get in. Oh, look, we got one win, and then they start like this year, the Bengals. They're under 500 in the record, and they made the playoffs and they went to the Super Bowl. And I think this is a Super Bowl moment for him, where in the Euros they lost barely. So instead of upgrading the team like he should have, I think he's like, I'm going to keep this team as we have it. I'm going to just move it on, and we're going to make it to the knockout stages. That's not how it works. You got to keep upgrading, especially how good other teams are. Belgium, how great these teams are. So you got to watch out for that. And I think he's just going to be like, all right, we'll make it at least to the knockout, and then I can at least save my job. I don't know if he will. The United States is really strong. Matt looked up Iran. They're really strong. And Wales, if they even get a point out of England, England's going to be looking to maybe being completely knocked out. So, anything else, Matt, on the forwards?
No, I think you've covered it. I will add.
Yeah.
It's for the NFL thing. It is common. They call it the Super Bowl slump or whatever for teams who lose, and even sometimes teams that win, to just be so drained from trying that they really struggle. The Bengals right now they have a winning record, but they're not in the playoff spot.
Excuse me. Yeah. Okay.
They just won on Sunday, so that they're one win above 500.
I mean, the teams that they're beating though are probably.
But that's the thing. They're not in first in their division. There's three other wildcard teams ahead of them. Like, everyone thought they'd be way more dominant, and when you have that expectation, then sometimes that can really drag you down. And like, injuries happen, and like, what's gonna happen if players get injured here? Like, what happens if,
Kane goes down?
Kane goes down, or
Who's Kane?
Declan Rice goes down, or
I don't think Declan Rice would be a big factor, but
Mason Mount.
Yeah.
I think Declan Rice will play almost every game. Like, looking at these guys, I don't know who they will put in a lot of these games.
So I think he's going to play, but Declan Rice has not played well after he signed that huge contract.
Neither did Jack Grealish.
No. I don't think Oh God, no.
Like, speaking of guys who got paid and then
Grealish. Matt, so I know we're supposed to be talking about the English League, but Matt and I had to send him the tweet, and most of you probably have seen it, of Grealish after he won the championship and was drunk, talking about how bad some of his teammates were, and talking about how bad they were, just like Almiron. Because Almiron at the time, you know, he scored 1 goal in an entire season or whatever, or 2 goals in like 3 seasons, and he's dominant. So everybody's retweeting what he said and stuff like that. And you got a guy who's so dominant and has been paid so much, and doesn't even start games sometimes. It's just
No, he's not even a big factor in City's games that often.
Nope.
Yeah, it was. He said something like, "Oh, like I'm glad they subbed you off because you were playing like Almiron out there."
Yep. Yeah.
Which was like, that's a huge slap in the face.
Yeah. Yep. Oh God, I cannot wait until we face. Honestly, I cannot wait until we face Man City again. For that.
I hope he scores in that game.
Oh yeah, he scored in the 3-1 man. Well, the draw.
3-3. The 3-3.
Yeah. Rub it. Oh God, it was 3-1. It's 60-minute marker. Also, we'll say this, guys. Do not forget. Write down that bet for the 30-minute marker. Because guess who won this week on the bet again? 35th minute. It was the 35th minute they scored. It was because the only reason it was 35 was there was an injury time at the 30th minute. So.
But within 5 minutes of 30 minutes is almost guaranteed.
Almost guaranteed. You're gonna put a grand down. You're gonna win it this week. But anyways, thanks Matt, because we're gonna start going to the Premier League after this. I already know it. So thanks Matt for your commentary on the English World Cup. As soon as the Canadian World Cup comes out, or the Canadian team comes out, we'll drop you guys a video on that. Until next time, thank you again, Matt.
Thank you.
And thank you again to Factor for sponsoring the stream. Again, if you guys want a box of some fresh meals sent to your home, that is 60% off your first box. Go to gofactor75.com or the link down below and use the promo code FACTOR SE7734. That'll get you guys that 60% box, which is $5 a meal. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to you. Sounds good to both of us. Thank you again, Factor. Thank you again, Matt. All right, guys. We'll see you next time, and goodbye.